Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there. Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. Exciting times. We want to thank everybody for their support over on Patreon. Exclusive videos going up on Patreon each week, most often multiple times. And our newest Patreons are...
Oh, yes. We want to say a huge thank you to Modern Day Buddha, Turkey. I'm sorry.
And our beloved William Scott, as well as, again, we couldn't do it without you guys. Red Dawn is trending. This is bad. It says, again, Patrick Swayze been dead for over a decade, hasn't made Ghost 2 yet. But, Red Dawn was a great flick. Of course, Patrick Swayze became a huge sensation. Ghost, Red Dawn, obviously, and many other movies after. But Red Dawn trending is really a sign of the times. It's kind of crazy out there. A lot of people are very, very apprehensive about what's going on. This is a Pentagon briefing, in which it's stated we need to protect our facilities. The Pentagon announces deployment of additional assets to address mysterious drones and orbs near sensitive military sites. Counter-drone systems are now active in New Jersey. Officials confirm the military is preparing to use deadly force as necessary. What are these things, and why are they appearing at high-security locations? Well, that I know you guys have heard me say before. It's something we've seen many times where UFOs have gone over military bases, and there's been even stated that they've turned off the most sensitive, powerful military hardware we have just to show that they can. This is, again, it's not just one thing. It's a layer of things to make everybody even more nervous. This is a city in Russia, 700 kilometers east of Moscow. East. So, in other words, this is very deep into Russia, and Ukrainian drones strike this tower. As Cindy points out, why is there a black mark, like a burn mark or smoke or something, before it goes into the tower? Well, I don't know. Maybe there was more. There were more. There were 7. They say that struck various targets. Now, I don't know if that was the first one to strike this target or not. Again, these times are just, there's so much going on. There's so much going on. This is in Kazan. And I've seen pictures of Kazan, very, very pretty city over there. So, you have this going on in Russia. Of course, Russia has threatened to take reprisals against NATO directly. You have a massive military buildup going on right now. As we were talking about yesterday, there's so much going over into the European theater as we speak. And meanwhile, you have these videos still coming in from everywhere, so many you can't keep up with. Another one that looks like it's involving a laser is, where's the laser coming from? In the ground? Is it coming from the sky down? Is it coming ground up? It doesn't to me look like it's originating with the, but there you go. It looks like now it's reflecting. It didn't look like it was originating with the UAP or whatever this particular one is. There's multiple things going on. Some things seem solid. Some things seem to be literally plasma. Yeah, we know where he's going with that one. This is in Florida. And, here, St. Petersburg, Florida, guys. Cops telling us to go inside. Y'all better get straight with God, bro. People are freaking out. These sightings, they're not slowing down, not in the least. And, here they're saying, you hear the cops telling people, go inside the house. So what is this? We are on either the brink of World War III, or it is really already underway, technically. And, of course, people are antsy and scared. And you have all these drones. Are they going to turn active? Is this why people are searching for Red Dawn? Because they feel that these are going to be starting to directly maybe attack us? Again, this drone situation is not just in the U.S. and this UAP situation. It's worldwide on a massive scale. This is supposedly a saucer. This one, it looks, again, sometimes things could be planes when caught at different angles. But there's so many. I mean, there's thousands of these videos popping up, all different angles. And we're going to show you one from one of our dear family members over in the UK in a moment. But you could see that was LA. This is Phoenix. More lights just suspended in the air in a row in Phoenix. And all sorts of stuff in the same picture, too. This is the thing. You have a lot of videos coming out with things that look like mechanical drones, and then things that don't look mechanical at all, that look very, very plasma-like, energy-like. Which in which case could literally be a conscious being. This is California, another red cookie-shaped UFO, UAP, just hovering over the city. I mean, our little gray guy is going to come out and say, "Take me to your leader. Where is Elon?"
Well, it's a matter of, where are they all coming from? And I think they're coming from different places, and this is something that we've talked about all of this in the past multiple times. This comes from our brother Dave. Just there it is just kind of hanging out in the air, and you can see with your two eyes, you can see the energy coming off of around it. Makes me curious.
Yeah, and again, this energy is visible on this particular object. Many of us now at this point in time are awakened enough to see energy surrounding things just all the time, which this is how I see pretty much everything all the time, whether it's a UAP or just a bird. I could see the energy field, and I know I would venture to guess at least 10% of the people out there right now do that too, and it's growing. I mean, it's growing. It's going to be everybody soon.
Right, and
well,
that's
everybody that stays as organic as possible.
Yeah, and that's their problem is so many people are able to see beyond the illusion that they have created. It's kind of cumbersome for them at this point. So what do? They create a huge distraction and keep people from utilizing their abilities or recognizing their abilities because they're in fight or flight.
And this is it looks like a tic tac from this distance, but this is a cylindrical one. Yeah. Again, this is typically reptilian.
I would say so. I didn't get a warm, fuzzy feeling from it, but there's so many out there. I mean, things could really be changing.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the energy field around the craft. We see energy, both Cindy and myself, all the time. We always see the ether. We could literally see the ether. And again, I think that there's a high percentage of you guys out there that do the same, as you could see it all around it. For a lot of people, though, they've been sound asleep, and now all of a sudden, a lot of these abilities are starting to take hold. So meanwhile, you have the Pentagon admitting there's a massive surge in U.S. troops in Syria. They've more than doubled. As there is a vacuum over there, which is being filled again. And we still have the radiation spikes, these high readings. Here's the Wichita area in Arkansas, 775. It's been up there at that elevated area for days now. Tucson's been elevated for days now. So I'm starting to see some of the same areas staying elevated and other ones coming and going. In Montana, not too far from Billings, you see this elevated 134 and 150 north of Bozeman there. LA has had some elevated readings as well, not as high as Tucson. Tucson has been continually right around that area, 128. This has gone red at times. and then some yellows up in the greater Seattle area, not red. You could see there's yellow here, which it kind of goes in line with, oh gosh, was that 81 that cuts across the mountains? I used to take this route a lot. So it's interesting to see the elevated areas. Pittsburgh, again, elevated. Connecticut, around Waterbury, that's been the entire time since this popped up. And then in New York, they seem to be coming and going. And yet we also have elevated areas over across the drink, so to speak. Close to London, again, there is some red. Moscow's still yellow. So just to, again, point out, this situation hasn't stopped. It doesn't feel like it's escalated. It feels like it's just kind of staying still. Or maybe I should rephrase that. The red, real high readings don't seem like they've increased in the past couple of days. The yellows, yeah, it seems like there's a lot more yellow readings. Again, we'll have to watch that. This is Christoph, the Polish psychic that we've talked about many times. This is his channel in Polish. Now you can also click on the to CC and get the closed captions and translate it over into English now. And he is, as you can see, he's got 331,000 subscribers over on the Polish channel. This is Clear Seeing, which does translations and breaks it down into smaller tidbits. And this is in English closed captions. This was just probably his most interesting one ever. And we do think that he is legit. He has helped police to find missing persons. In fact, if you look at his videos, that's what some of these videos are, and you could see, he's been in the newspaper. He's well known, and we like his energy. We feel he's very, very legit and very gifted. Oh, this one is fun because in this one, he's asked about the drones. He's asked about the drones. And what's fascinating is the picture that he gets. So he's asked, is this military or is this alien civilizations? Now he takes a photo and he zooms in on a person. This is what he does. And then he shares the impressions that he gets. And, it's a technique that Cindy's familiar with. Why is this happening? See, he's working the energy field around his third eye and zooming in. What he finds here is actually, it's what we've been sharing with you guys all along. There's a lot more to Earth than we know. So what he's picking up is that most of these objects, they are originating from Earth. But look at this, that right there. Oh my gosh. They are coming from the Motherland Matrix. The use of terms that he used in this was just absolutely fascinating to me. Fascinating. They're coming from the Motherland Matrix. We here are in a dark matrix, which, as we've shared with you guys, is the result of a literal takeover of the planet that happened. And I should even really specify, it's not the entire planet. It's our portion. What we know as Earth is not the entirety of Earth. And he's picking up on this. It's fascinating stuff. And so there's this dark matrix that's put into place where we understand our world to be. But there's a mother matrix as well. There's a natural matrix in which there's beings right here on planet Earth that are not part of the dark matrix. And so they are, you could view them as again, in some ways you could really view this as you legitimately could say there's a breakaway civilization, but it's not that it's a breakaway civilization. If anything, we're kind of the opposite of a breakaway civilization. We're stuck in the dark ages, where the rest of the planet is well beyond the Jetsons. I mean, way out there and into a much higher level of technology. This was just fascinating.
Well, what I liked about it is the confirmations that came about with it that we've been talking about over the, past while, and just encapsulating it and bringing it forward. That's always good when you get information and then you find another psychic that is getting parallel information. It boosts the confidence of the channeler, because just because you channel doesn't mean you feel confident. And sometimes you even feel a little bit insecure when you're doing your channeling and you're thinking, is this right? And you have that little tidbit of doubt, which I don't think is super abnormal, but it's there. And it's nice to see someone who's highly experienced and really has done this a lot all their lives pick up the same information that you do. So this was a lot of fun. I recommend that people watch it because it really encapsulates what we have been talking about.
He says they are coming from a different realm of the earth. And, there's quite a few times when we've seen him get this information and then he's confused in some ways. But, if you ever get a chance to listen to his other videos, go right ahead as he gets into a lot of things in as undogmatic an approach as is possible, because he's clearly saying, I don't understand what I'm seeing, but this is what I'm seeing. So as you can see, from a different realm of the earth. The earth is an organism of 3 realms. Okay, that's basic mythology 101 for so many of the world's mythos. When we see, again, you could take it as the big 3 in the Greco-Roman world, and you have the world being split up between Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon, right? Again, there's so much allegory and so much mythology that ends up bearing out as reality. And I do think that there's far more to gain from studying the myths of the world than literally, following the structured, organized, thoroughly cleansed religious books in many cases. Because, again, it's the control system that has twisted some of those, where the myths, I don't think they are as fearful of, because people, look at them as just stories. So 3 different regions is what he, 3 different, how would you word it, realms again. He says our realm is the smallest, or also the least modern. Absolutely. And he's picking up on this fresh. We don't know anything about the other realms as far as the general population. There are some that do understand this, but they're few. But they know all about us. They watch us. Absolutely. These 3 realms have one common body, to speak. Body. Yeah, absolutely. Planet Earth is supporting life on different dimensions, different densities. One body, one realm. It is very important what happens on Earth. This is also why that was an interesting one too. This is also why they won't allow certain things. There's not going to be a nuclear holocaust. It's not going to happen. It won't be allowed. They will shut this off. They will shut off our technology. This is why I feel they are trying to spread the radiation in different ways. The passageways between the realms are under the oceans. Ooh, we got some portals under the oceans. This is fun stuff. Yeah, but again, it might look like there was some sort of big exchange, and they might plaster it all over the papers that there was an NUKE event that happened. And, they'll say this and people will believe it's the case. But again, there's other types of technology out there, from rods of God and different types of energy weapons that are out there as well. And, the official narrative will maybe very well be that there is some sort of NUCLEAR exchange. Now, these realms, these passageways are closed for us, but they are open for them. And when you think about Inner Earth as well, all those legends, we are actually constantly under supervision. But it's strange because it's not a civilization that came from some other planet from space, not that he could see. I mean, in the distant past, yes. But he's looking right now. It's as if our world was connected to the other two worlds, the three worlds, and all of them dependent on each other. Well, gosh, what was that big Netflix show, right? Three Body Problem? Hello, again, the disclosure. Three Body Problem is exactly, everything is always right there in front of us.
It is. It's put in front of us in different ways, and we have the opportunity to believe it, or we have the opportunity to not believe it. But that's basically how this whole realm works. The dark matrix, they want to really shout from the mountaintops that we have free will, but the way that they produce information in an entertainment type fashion is not exactly free will, but they are telling us the truth. So then there's that.
Yeah, there's a scene there where the entire sky changes and everything starts to read. All the technology reads you are bugs, because the advanced extraterrestrials are letting humans know where they rank in comparison to their technology. Again, Three Body Problem, fascinating show. Feels like they are giving away a lot there. But again, all these realms are independent on each other. This is why they cannot allow certain things to happen. The Motherland Matrix is waking up. Yes, absolutely. It's called the Motherland Matrix. There'll be signs in the sky. There won't only be objects, but also the sky will glow in the entire firmament. Okay, there you go. You're going to have the flat earthers going crazy on this one, because, the firmament, what we have going on is literally, you could think of it as a dimensional matrix that keeps us from entering the others. And when our frequency is high enough, we can go into the others. So in so many ways, when you hear of stories of heaven, but you have to realize we're living in one cell. This is one cell in the body of something much, much bigger. And again, the Hindu scriptures clearly talk all about this. Again, Buddhism comes from Hinduism, as well as so many other belief systems that have come over the years out of it. It's all contained in there. We are literally living again in one cell. Our entire universe is one cell. That's a big reveal, because there's all these other realms. There's all these other realities that are out there. And even on our one cell, there's all these different realities interplaying right here. And so, yes, there is kind of a border that most humans cannot go across at this point in time. But the ascension process and the elevation of bringing us up into a higher frequency, the quicker we can get away with the destruction, the war-like mentality, don't go along with the dark matrix, the quicker we can enter the more heavenly realms and have our total reality change. So, this is why they're doing. This is all, it is spiritual warfare, but what is spiritual warfare? It is totally dimensional, and it is all about frequency. That's the thing to get across, frequency. And so he uses that firmament word there. Yeah, there is a barrier, so to speak, a dimensional barrier. The Motherland Matrix is waking up. Oh, the mother is waking up, and she wants to take care of us, and she does love us. She loves all of her children, so to speak. And yet, what has been so removed from the mainstream religion? It's that divine feminine side, or it's been distorted into ways where again, you guys know all about the different pronouns. Let's just leave it. It's such a distortion. In simple terms, there is a yin, there is a yang, and there is a little yin and yang, and there is a little yang and yin. The interplay between these different energies is complementary, and it also gives us impetus for motion. We need that for there to be anything to experience in this realm. But here you go. She is waking up. The mother energy is waking up. More signs in the sky. As Cindy has gotten, believe it or not, this blue orb. It's not really naturally blue even. As we've shared with you guys, there is a lens over the sun. There is again, a Dyson sphere, which is a manufactured object that would be used to collect energy from a star. And this is something that we're told that different ET civilizations would do as they learn how to harness the energy of their planet, and then learn how to harness the energy of their sun, and then learn how to harness the energy of their galaxy, and finally of their entire universe. That's the Kardashev scale, by the way. This is just what we're told. Again, they always give us the answers right in front of us, but they know we won't get it on the whole. And yet the sun, it has been distorted. The sun was yellow-orange when we were growing up in the 60s and 70s, and then it seemed to get more whitish as time has gone on, and then perhaps even bluish. Well, the reality is the sky itself has never been the natural color. This has always been a distortion of the dark matrix. You're going to be seeing more magenta, more purplish, pinkish purplish hues in the sky as time goes on. And that is because, again, this lens, this Dyson sphere-like apparatus that's in front of the sun has been blocking all the light from the sun to come in to us and trigger our DNA and speed up the ascension process. And so that is failing because the energy that's coming in from the real creator, the real source, again, of all things, is increasing. This is just part of the bigger plan. And so he is saying here, the closer the threat, the more signs in the sky. Beings won't appear. It's only a warning that not all will believe in. It's a warning shown through human logic, which many people in the future will think that maybe it was China doing it, maybe Russia, or maybe America itself, but there will be signs. These signs are for those who make decisions, who have to realize that their decisions, there's something above them. Yeah, absolutely. The dark matrix is nothing compared to the natural matrix and the creator and creative forces of the natural matrix. And this is just telling them their time is done. And there's borders that they will not be able to go past. But we can. That's the big reveal. We don't have to stay here with them.
There has been information that's been bubbling up inside of me for a while about a certain agreement, and that coming up in 2025, and our ability to do different things, like go into the other realms, depends on this. It's called a treaty. That is the best word that I can find, and I've been kind of ever since then looking for more information on this treaty, and I'm not allowed very much information. But to me, when he's talking about people who make decisions, I'm feeling like it could be tied into this treaty. So I'm looking for more signs and clues about the treaty. Now, it's not a treaty that we understand here in the 3D. This is a multi-dimensional treaty with many different races that are involved, and it really does truly hinge on us, and it hinges on our frequency, and it hinges on when they run the tests on human frequency, which will be happening again in June. So June summer solstice. So that's something that we need to watch for. And they have run certain tests on our frequency not very long ago, and it was really right before the skies exploded, and it showed that our frequency was really high. It was higher. It was better than they expected. And then all of a sudden we have all of these things in the sky. And mind you, yes, I'm aware that a lot of it's machines, but did they throw a lot of machines up there to try to cover up our star brothers and sisters from really showing themselves, and to create so much chaos that we won't know the truth? Well, the truth is our star brothers and sisters are here. We're allowed to see them, but now we have to kind of swim through the discernment, because the dark matrix, they're not going to let go. They are not going to let go of their grip very easily.
No. And so, here he's talking about how strange it is. There's like these three worlds in one that we have going on right here. And he's trying to understand it. The three dimensions of our earthly reality. And our dimension, again, is the lowest of them. There are two more dimensions. All in all, the three dimensions are the same, as if the earth was in three dimensions. Well, yeah, it is a 3D earth. If something happened in one of the dimensions, then there'd be a problem with the other dimensions. So that the three dimensions are in a sense dependent on each other. Our current situation is very dangerous. I think that not many people realize the seriousness of this danger. I've called 2025 a cursed year. Yeah, that's what he was getting, not completely understanding what it means that it'll be a cursed year. But because of this danger, two dimensions, the second dimension is giving warnings. They are not for us to be wondering. They are for those who want to make decisions. Talking about the dark matrix. Very strange vision. I apologize to those who don't understand it. I myself don't understand it fully. Oh, well, we do. and it's absolutely awesome to see Christoph getting this confirmation, because there are many of us that are channeling this info. When you look at some of these maps again, this is a live that we did a while back in talking about the reality, the truth that you can take from flat Earth, because again, as above, so below, as within, so without. When you look to a cell, if you look down on a cell on a microscope, it looks flat. But the reality is, jump inside that cell, it's not flat. And, again, what we should take from this is that, beyond the ice wall, there is stuff that they have been hiding. There's always been stuff that they have been hiding. This German flat Earth map, take it and round it. And, the reality is, we see the Earth here. This is the Earth that we know, but there's more to the Earth. In fact, 3/4 of it is hidden from us. So we're only on a small portion of this Earth. If I look at Cindy's eyes, what do I see? I see the relatively flat surface, but they're not flat. I just can't see what's, beyond, the face. And here you're seeing what looks like an eye right here, right? And the veins and everything. This is all as above, so below. Recognize again, there is truth. Absolutely. The flat earthers have been right about the fact that we can't go beyond the ice wall. Well, we can't go beyond the different densities. It's almost as if there's an artificial energetic barrier that's been put in place, but it's really not even necessarily artificial. It's just a higher density. It's, again, changing channels on a radio. You don't see the other stations, but you can tune into them. And again, we see all this flat earth maps, but this, as long as we're arguing about flat and round, it's missing the biggest point. There's a lot of this planet that's been hidden from us. And in fact, there's a lot of other beings that have been there the whole time. Absolutely. Most of the planet is outside of our access. And this is one we did several years ago, talking about the real power structure, the dark power structure that literally feeds on humanity. And so while absolutely there is a creator, and absolutely Yeshua Jesus is, the best thing since sliced bread. I mean, he came to set us free mentally, not through shedding blood. So that's part of the distortion. What the system does is they take and a starseed, they take an ascended master, and when he says, greater things you're going to do, and he's telling you, I and the Father are one, the system says, yeah, that's just him. It's not you. They don't want you empowered. But what he's telling you is source is in you. Source is in me. Source is in you. You can do greater things than I did because you're not awake yet. You've been sleepwalking. You don't have to have this type of existence. And when they tell us, oh, this is nothing, this is just, clouds and light and interaction with ice crystals. No, these are entities that are watching us. These are conscious entities that are watching us. Yeah, they look very, very alien to us because we're not really used to that. But too many people are eating too many Oreos that you cannot even burn with a blowtorch. We're putting this type of crap in our bodies. It is affecting our minds. It's affecting our health. Yeah, no wonder people can't see, the reality of the system in front of their very eyes. It's again because of the toxicity that has been consciously going.
It has, and we all have been kind of, they've been soaking us in the toxins, when it comes from the air, it comes from the water, it comes from everywhere. So our most important job right now is to take care of our temple and be very, very mindful, because those around us, they can affect your temple too. And, it's our responsibility. So whatever we take in, it's our responsibility to get out. And I mean, there's all kinds of different ways that you can get these toxins in your body. So you have to just sort of watch and be very careful.
As always, guys, we thank you for your support over on Patreon. Couldn't do it without you guys. Look forward to your comments. Source, bless, and namaste.
Namaste.